bro, 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 brother, bro. Look who it is. It is Vince Russo doing all the work. The Workers Club. Shape up. Do something for yourself.
Workers Club 145. Everyone's here. Yay. Gus, Larry, Wilson. I don't have anything newsworthy. I did want to catch up on Al Snow in the new year. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
There you go. Sent that to you guys. Looking healthy. Looking good. Got the garage gym going. Over 60.
Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he's looking huge. He's on that TRT, I'm sure.
Why didn't he just do that when he was younger? And Vince would have given him a bigger push.
I think he was. Because he was pretty thin if you go back to like 95 ECW.
Yeah. I mean,
and in the area he was in, you got to keep in mind too, like if you were to take him out of like 1999 or 2000 and put him in modern AEW, he'd be the biggest fucking guy there.
He'd be Wardlow.
I mean, this looks closer to Big Papa Pump a little bit. I mean, he's thick.
Yeah.
For what reason? Is he still wrestling actively?
The fuck else is he gonna do all day? What are these guys don't have hobbies other than, I mean, I know he likes comic books, but
yeah, we saw the toys.
He's got to look good for the silver screen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
season 2.
I forgot about that.
Him and Cash Flow are competing for the same roles.
Al's contacting Cash. Who's your agent? How do I get on Tulsa?
So I have a quote. I think I don't have a source. It's clearly from an interview that Violent J did. And hang on. So Jay says, Jay even defended some of Russo's crazy booking decisions. Quote, you look at some of the crazy antics Vince Russo has done that he sometimes gets made fun of or whatever for things like the Judy Bagwell on a pole match. That's something I would have booked. Jay laughed. I would have put Judy Bagwell on a pole if I was in charge. Seriously, that's straight out of JCW's playbook. You know what I mean? As to the philosophy of and how Russo meshes with JCW, Jay broke it down like this. Humor, I think, plays a huge role in pro wrestling, and everybody wants to laugh. And I think we have a lot in common. I like his wild style writing, and I just considered it a dream. I didn't think he would come aboard. I want to start at the top and go for the top, you know? And if it doesn't work out, work my way down. But the more I got to talking to Vince Russo, the more I started to believe it could become a possibility. He's kind of a sicko then.
Yeah. He wants to put his hand on the stove. So we to believe that he didn't think Vince Russo would join. He wouldn't be like...
That's the part I found hard to believe. Well.
Vince Russo playing hard to get.
He probably assumed this guy must have money. He'll never come here. And then he realized what we already know, that Vince has no money.
Didn't read
and
the
we
books.
even found out that he even has less than we thought he had because he just wasted more on a failed project.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the Attitude Network or...
Yeah, Attitude Channel. Or it was called Attitude Channel, but it was going to be a platform to host podcasts of all different opinions where you could then subscribe to listen to the said podcast. I'm guessing why it failed. Didn't get enough podcasts. Not enough people subscribing. One.
There's 9 million places to host a podcast.
Yeah, and what cut is he taking to do this kind of like service you got to pay for to get to the podcast?
Yeah, what's unique about this? Like, why couldn't I just look these podcasts up on a podcast player?
Because his attitude, uncut, no bullshit.
No censorship.
Yeah, no mamby-pamby podcast here. I tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. Well, we last left off with John Mellencamp and Russo calling him a cool cat. So he's working at Titan, and Vince has hired, quote, foreign guru genius to head the international department. Guru is one of Vince Russo's words. He likes to calls in that live wire. He calls Vince a wrestling guru.
Okay.
So this is as Vince Russo said, this is a foreign-born person running the international department. I don't know where Vince found this particular guy, and he won't name names. He's going to call him Mr. White. And in honor, I guess, of Reservoir Dogs. Then he calls the woman that heads human resources the Human Mask, saying that she made Tammy Faye Baker look like the Ivory Snow Girl. That's nice. Who else had a problem with the human resources gal? Jim Ross, correct? Al Snow?
Al Snow, yeah. I remember Kevin Nash called her the C word.
Yep. We missing anybody? Brett? Was Brett? Mick? So Russo calls her the Human Mask. Nice. So let's see. He does call Mr. White Don Juan DeMarco. Okay. And what does he say here? When he goes in to save Vince, and he would like you to know that, look, he's going to start calling people out here. These guys that worked at the magazine. And he's only doing that because he's living to a standard that he expects everybody else to live by. And he brings up somebody. I recently called somebody out claiming to be a Christian who wrote a book totally bearing and discrediting me. Who was that?
So this is 05, right?
This is published in 05? Yeah.
But
he's writing in
02
or 04, 02, 04, somewhere in there. This is also Saved Vince, who wrote 2 years later from 02.
Sean?
Did Lex write? Lex wasn't saved yet. Maybe
Bill
Sean.
Watts?
But he's already talked about Sean, so I don't.
Yeah. Recently came out as a
Bill
Christian.
Watts.
Wrote a book totally bearing
That's
and
a good
discrediting.
guess.
But why would Watts even be talking about Russo, though?
Watts was in '95. He was there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he talks about it, but he doesn't have very many bad things to say about Watts. Let's
But I
see.
bet Watts in his book commented on like current wrestling and said shit though. He seems like that kind
Maybe
of guy.
Sting. Did Sting come out with a book or something?
I was thinking that too, but
Sting really isn't a shit talker, though.
yeah.
Oregon
But he could have
wrestler.
just said like, I don't know. Russo's so thin-skinned. He could have just said,
Yeah.
"I don't like the booking."
He buried and discredited me.
I mean, Flair never did a Born Again thing.
No, Sting doesn't have a book.
Did Piper? Piper's book was.
He's not
fucking
born
mental.
again then, though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That was the criteria, right?
Books.
Yeah.
It's got to be Bill Watts or Sean.
Bobby the Brain. Does he have a book?
Nah, he was never born again.
Okay. Maybe you know who might know Colin.
Well, that's funny you say that because I'm looking at Discord and he's listening to Yes, Close to the Edge, which is my favorite album of all time. And I was just going to shout him out anyways.
So Mr. White brings in Mr. Blue. Now, I know who Mr. Blue is because he says here Mr. Blue is an accountant, and eventually they give him the title of general manager. And so I just went to my WWF magazine and looked at the staff in the magazine. It said general manager Robert S. Mitchell. So he's right.
Mhm.
1 month there is no general manager, and there's a editor-in-chief, and the next is the general manager Robert S. Mitchell, and I couldn't find anything about him. That happens in February 95. You get Robert S. Mitchell. So he's Mr. Blue. I'm not sure why Russo's using names other than he thinks he's being like libelous or something like that.
I hate this chat. I couldn't.
Robert S. Mitchell wants to develop a series of children's books based on the WWF superstars. And Vince Russo thinks this is an incredibly stupid idea. Who would ever buy wrestling books for children? Didn't they do that shortly? Like Foley did a little children's book with Lawler, where Lawler drew it, like a little Christmas book.
They probably did in the 80s too.
I know. I know there's a little moment there where the Bucks, Hangman, I think Cody put out little children's books, like really early on. And
it's been done.
It's not a horrible idea. I don't know, especially where they're at 95.
Yeah,
I would have,
He brings up Judgment Day, and Save Vince jumps in to go, whoa, I was talking about Judgment Day 2 years ago. Crazy.
Why? What does that mean?
It starts heating up over this section where, and again, my theory is that there actually was no 2 year. I think he always had this in mind. This is one of his next things. In my mind, I believe Vince Russo's next thing was how much does he talk about it now? I don't know.
Not much.
It doesn't seem to be guy.
I mean, they even got
the same guy.
They got kind of blasphemous on that last episode. Remember Vampiro said Christ isn't coming, I am, or something like that?
Not right.
I was a little surprised Vince would do that.
But he starts jumping in as Save Vince to go, whoa, can you believe I was talking about God? That's crazy. What a coincidence. Man, if only I knew. 2 years later. He says he's 40. He's in his office. He's listening to John Denver. Spoilers for the next book here. He says that he's listening to Rocky Mountain High, and I swear to God, when all is said and done, I'm retiring to Colorado.
All right, he did it.
Yeah. I do believe he attributes in the next book. He says it was because he was listening to John Denver. He thought it was so stupid. And just to tell him in the future, Amy's against the move. It's a battle. He also has a fascination with cats now at 40. He wants to know. He just talks about cats. He's like, who teaches them how to be in the litter box? Huh? Their mom? He has 2 cats, Crystal and Rainbow. And he wants a 3rd cat. Amy thinks I'm nuts. We got too many cats.
Maybe that's what the hair was on his shirt.
Maybe. Yeah, I still have cats. He brings up, okay, so Mr. Blue's a general manager. Again, he does this thing throughout this section where he's like, no, my foggy memory, I can't quite remember. Oh, yeah, I knew exactly what they called that fucking asshole general manager. They tell him that his friend Louie, was that Gianfrido? Was that his name? Louie is fired. They get ominous. They say, you're lucky you still have a job because I had no plans for you. Okay. Vince is thinking, you ignorant fuck. You clueless fuck. So he goes and he tells Louis that he's fired. And Louis does this thing where he goes, look at my office. There's nothing in here. You know why? Because you got to treat every day like it might be your last. I got nothing to leave. I leave him with the same stuff I brought in. And Vince is like, I'm going to continue that way of thinking for the rest of my life. And begins now. Vince is switching back and forth between loving the company. I'm so loyal, and also going, why does this company mistreat me? Hey, look at me. I'm 13. Vince tells us that the title of this chapter is a famous line from The Honeymooners. And he keeps talking about Mr. Blue in the children's book. And you know what also Mr. Blue wants to do? He wants to turn WF magazine read by exclusively adults in 1995. He wants to turn it into Sports Illustrated Kids.
I remember that magazine.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know
Was it
what
read by adults though? Like,
WF magazine.
I felt like it was even pretty kid oriented prior to.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you it was, and it continued to be even after all these guys left and Vince Russo continued. It was always pretty much kid oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like fan mail in there before and after, like kids
Yeah, I
and
remember
drawings and
like, some like there were all these like cheesy like gimmick columns and
Ask Blade. That was a feature.
yeah.
So, he's calling the guy a poor, clueless general manager. Jeez.
How about you stay in your lane, Vince?
Oh, that is a theme too. He can't help himself. He calls it ambition.
I hate people like that.
He says that fans, this is 1995, fans are into hardcore reality. You gotta evolve the business. And he does, I think we covered in the second book, he begins the, now let's look at real sports. It's not the same as when it started. Same thing for wrestling. And he gives examples like, the designated hitter.
Oh boy, I've got some news for you, Vince, in 20 years or so.
Yeah. That's evolving. Everyone. Are we all agreed that that's dumb that both leagues do it now?
I fucking hate it. I fucking
me
hate
too.
it.
Yep.
Disgrace to the game, like, has completely ruined, like...
I'm fine with hurrying up the pictures.
I
fine
am
with all
too. I
that.
just...
There's
nothing better than, like, when Carlos Zambrano, when he would crank off dongs.
Zach Greinke, he could knock a home run every now and then.
When Bartolo Colon got that one, that was awesome. Pitchers like pitching inside to other pitchers. Come on. So much good stuff.
Russo brings up Halle Berry again. It's on his mind, and this must have just came out at the time or something. And when did Swordfish come out?
Let's see.
Yeah, there must have been like an Entertainment Weekly in the house.
2001.
Type in Swordfish movie. Yep. So it's on his mind. Saw it in the theater. Halle Berry flashed her chest in a bomb of a movie. Swordfish made millions at the box office. I was unaware at that time that she was going to flash her. I went there for the combo of a young, up-and-coming Hugh Jackman and John Travolta as a bad guy with a bad wig. Yeah, I think so. And Hugh Jackman's a hacker. I think nobody's seen it, just me.
Yep.
Oh, okay. And hey, Vince Russo, like, it's all about TNA and the entertainment business. Here's his list: American Pie,
What's
Sex and the
this
City,
list?
of just TNA and the entertainment business. American Pie, Sex and the City, Austin Powers, Gwen Stefani.
Which is a spoof on the 60s.
Yeah, but he's saying things like, "Are you horny, baby? Do I make you horny?" And Vince is like, "Yeah." And they got the punny names, that are more
But
goofy
again,
than-
so did Bond in the 60s. So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is nothing's changed, Vince. Vince, found out
He's
about a
just
couple
saying that
trends.
that's all
Thinks
that the
the
top
world is
tier
different.
entertainment.
Okay. But keep going, because Gwen Stefani,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, ain't no holla
Did-
back, girl.
Yeah, did Holla
2002,
BANANAS? Maybe
He
he
was
saw
never,
that
like,
video.
scantily dressed.
Gwen Stefani? Yeah, she was.
I don't know. Maybe he sees the midriff and he's like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, she wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't like Christina Aguilera and Dirty, but like,
yeah.
This is how dumb Vince Russo is. He sees Gwen Stefani and he thinks to himself, "Am I into Suicide Girls now, bro? What's happening to me?" Lil Kim, oh, good lord, Lil Kim. Yeah, that probably did a number on his brain.
got the magic stick.
Or that. What was Vince Russo's reaction to the Super Bowl? Janet Jackson. She's got the sun nipple plate. Is he just like, Amy? Did I write the halftime show?
Yeah, he probably said he did it first and was
Yeah,
like,
I did it
when
with Jackie.
Sable back in
Yeah, the
1996.
Sable with the handprints.
Yeah. And again, every time Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler watching the halftime show and he's just doing that thing where he's hopping up in the air with both feet, like up and down like a pogo. And then he ends the list with adolescent language and nudity. People eat it up.
Adolescent language.
Yep. And nudity. Yeah, that's right.
6,
And he's
7.
just like, but not in the WWF where he's working right now. Doink is a major player, he says. No, he wasn't. Come on, stop.
No.
Did Doink even get like an IC title match?
Original Doink was pushed, but that was over in 3 months. He's at the end
Yeah.
of 94. Doink barely exists. I mean, I think Mania in 94 is the last show Doink is on.
And also, why is he berating Doink being a major player? He's working for JCW now. He's surrounded by clowns. He's can't step 1 foot down the hallway without running into one. Let's see. Oh, they have department meetings at the magazine, and there were women there from the department involved. What an odd sentence. With women from the department involved who had no business even being in the building.
Oh boy. How does he feel about women reporters in locker rooms?
Well, you know what? We're gonna find out. There was at one of these meetings, the art director suggested they should do a story on WWF superstars gardening. Which I'm just like, Vince, we're all just sitting around a table, probably just throwing out ideas. Right? They even had Bret Hart on the cover with Bart Simpson.
Yeah, it probably sold a ton of issues. I remember that cover. It was fucking
did.
cool as hell.
I have it. It's like the only magazine in the stupid collection that's worth anything. It's like worth $20. I think even my wife, a Simpsons fan, when she realized I had that, was like, "Whoa, you have that?" Yes, I did. Let's see. He brings up Yes Man. Very also Vince Russo, where he's very like all about TV, and The Simpsons is just a blind spot, and how big culturally that is. That he's like, "Oh, I can't believe we're doing this for who?" It's like, that was a huge. What are you talking about? let's see. Yes, man. Yeah, Vince Russo hates Yes, man. They're not telling it like it is to those who need to hear it. Vince says Sid Udy is in the company, and he wants to feature him in the magazine. But Mr. Blue's like, how? He's not kid friendly. How could we ever present him like that? This is all false. He's all over. He's like on covers. They're covering the storylines. It's fine. He calls Mr. Blue a jabeep.
A jabeep?
Yeah, a jabeep.
It did not come back to what he says it means.
Vince says it's somebody that's slow-minded. It's Italian for slang for slow-minded. Later, what did you get?
A young white or Arabic male prone to wearing flashy designer logos, gold jewelry, and plentiful hair gel.
Oh, you think somebody called him a jabeep?
Maybe.
And
That's what I was kind of going to say.
Like,
yeah.
Because I'm dumb.
They're usually smart and competent, so opposite of what he's saying. But
Yeah.
spoiled and testosterone driven.
Yeah, I could see he's I'm beginning.
Says you can also call him an Armenian prince.
Oh.
Oddly specific.
Well, that's gonna get thrown around in the Discord.
But I have the image in my mind.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
And it is kind of Russo, like a short crop beard,
Yep.
slick back hair. Yeah.
I think someone called him a jabeep, and he just was like, "They're calling me stupid." He thinks every move that Mr. Blue makes is asinine. And he cares. Why he cares so much about what Mr. Blue is doing and all of his ideas he's pitching is because he cares about Titan Sports and he cares about the WWF. And this is where I'm going. Doesn't he hate corporate America? Why is he in love with this company? He's barely worked there. And then he explains himself. It's not, he understands he hates corporate America, but you know what? This might sound stupid, but he'd like to pay Vince McMahon back for all the years of entertainment he's given him since he was a child. You're muted. Oh,
I know I am.
oh, okay. I thought you were trying to shit on Vince. Let's see.
Oh, goodness.
He's confused about the story of Jack and Jill because he thinks one of the children book ideas is that Mick Foley will go up with Jack and Jill and make sure they don't, quote, don't do anything adult-like.
Oh.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't know.
Well, so this is Vince. Vince feels like he's going to get fired. And so he says, quote, I knew I had to do something quick to gain as much leverage as possible. And so his idea is I'm going to form relationships with Vince's two top guys, Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson. So
What a
just
kiss-ass bitch.
just a genuine person.
Yeah, that's why he's such a snake.
Bootlick and cock.
I don't know why nobody likes me. So he loves Pat Patterson. He calls Pat Vince's Tom Hagen. Doesn't comment on. Usually everyone is quick to point out where Pat's proclivities are, but not Vince. He just slugs the guy and enjoys his accent. And he calls his relationship with Bruce Pritchard a bit more suspect. He feels like he's friends with Vince, but he's always leery of him. Didn't trust him. And he brings up like he's kind of in the Cornette camp of, his ideas were okay for wrestling, but they needed to evolve. And he says that his fresh ideas would change, Vince Russo's fresh ideas would change the business for years to come. So Vince Russo says he's playing the game and he's allowing Bruce Pritchard to, quote, take me under his wing. It's a defensive strategy, he thinks, because Bruce Pritchard, he thinks, is also playing a game. That he sees Vince Russo as a threat, and so you keep your...
Bruce Pritchard does not see Vince Russo as a threat. I'm sorry. Like,
I know. How long
I'm
has
not
he
a
been
Bruce
around?
Pritchard guy at all, but if you were to ask Bruce, did you ever see Vince Russo as a threat? Like, you're getting a laugh. Come on. Pritchard is Vince. You know what I mean? He is Vince's proxy. Like,
yeah, and
Vince
he's been around
Russo
forever.
Is not threatened by Bruce Pritchard. Come on.
Well, Vince is thinking maybe Bruce is hiding Vince's talents from the big guy. You know, and he wonders, was Bruce Pritchard, and was any of his conversation, was he ever sincere?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah. And to Gus's point, Vince Russo would like it to be clear, I was not kissing up or looking to get anywhere, even though I said that this was one page earlier said this is a strategic play. I just don't want to get fired. That's all. And now I have protection. And Vince says that this is where he talks about, I'm so bad with times, dates, and places. He just doesn't know what to tell you. His mind can only store so much information. Some guys have the details. He does not. It's just the past. He doesn't even think about it really. So that's why he just doesn't know. And that's, I think we talked about in the second book. It always gets very foggy with Vince when you want maybe like a specific detail. And he doesn't. Well, anyways, he says, I found out at some point that Mr. Blue and Mr. White were going to contract the magazine out, just have someone else take care of it, and it wasn't going to be an in-house production anymore. And he said that the reasoning was that it would save money, you know, and Vince chalks them up to being bean counters, and he's thinking, well, you know, I just don't want the quality of the magazine to drop. That's what he's thinking. And as having been a business owner himself with Will the Thrill Video, he always looks at
right at
things.
the back of this phone book, exactly where you want to be.
He looks at things through the eyes of a business owner. So he can probably maybe talk to the McMahons on that level, you know.
Oh my God, what an asshole.
He hears this information and that they want to make a deal to do this, and calls Linda McMahon, you know, who he'd written the letter to. And he would just like to say, look, I told myself when I was going to write this book, I'd be 100% truthful. So he can say what needs to be said. This is a big Vince Russo. This is a Vince Russo all over. He's really loading you up, going, I'm going to tell you how it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. So let's talk about Linda McMahon. Here's all the dirt. Are you ready? There's nothing negative to say about Linda McMahon. She's an angel. Digest that.
I take issue with him slamming Mick's book. I mean, Mick buries more people than Russo does.
Yes.
Russo really hasn't said anything about anybody.
And it's always with that, you know, yeah, that guy was a jerk.
People you already know he doesn't like. You know,
and we'll never go all the way with it. He'll say, maybe they were having a bad, maybe they, you know, this. I understand where they're coming from. But to me, he's always going to admire Linda McMahon. She's an honest woman in a world populated by con men. Well, she really worked him, huh?
Yep.
He's writing to her right now. I'm so proud of where you've made it. One rumor that he heard was that Linda had more power than Vince. And it was only because Linda had threatened to sue Vince after the steroid trial if she didn't get an equal share of the company. And
This is why I doubt Russo even had stories of guys cheating on their spouses, because Russo doesn't know shit about anything.
he starts in this section saying, "You want a great story?" And it's the dumbest shit you've ever read.
Yeah.
There's no story.
He doesn't drink, so he's not going out to the bars.
Nope,
he doesn't really have
right
any
back to the
friends.
hotel room. Yeah.
Um,
Just low-level guys that are boring as hell.
I mean, Gewurz probably went out and partied more.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did, yeah. Michael P.S. Hayes. So, he says another thing he admires is that she stood by her husband in a federal courtroom, hearing those quote-unquote truths. Some of them were personal. Very personal, Russo says. And they may indeed have been true. Well, not that long ago, he was like, it's all lies. Now, he's turning to John Arezzi. He misses Linda. He misses talking with her. He misses all the McMahons. Every week, he dreams of being back in the WWE.
Zack Ryder over here.
Yeah. And then he goes, well, you're probably wondering, why doesn't he just go back? Well, we'll get to it. So he's sitting down with Linda McMahon. I poured my heart out to Linda, which I've heard Bruce Pritchard make fun of. From the heart, he said. All of his promos, because when he talks to people, he's cutting a promo from the heart.
Yeah.
Nothing to gain and everything to lose. It was just about doing the right thing. Telling Linda that they shouldn't outsource the magazine. So he says, I was always about doing, saved Vince here. I was always about doing the right thing, but it's not me. It's God working through me. Okay. So he has the meeting, and a couple of days later, she pulls the plug, quote, on the idea. Mr. Blue and Mr. White, Robert S. Mitchell and Mr. White are mad. So he gets brought into Mr. White's office, the guy that's the top dog. Mr. Blue's there. Again, Robert S. Mitchell. He's foreign. If you ever go to Linda behind my back again, you will find your stuff out on the street. Vince is laughing on the inside. This he considers has severely scarred their reputations and their relationship with Linda. I thought it was just about the magazine. How in the hell have you torched two business relationships? And he goes, well, now I've got Linda on my side too, and Bruce, and
is this magazine manager? Is he on LinkedIn? Is he still around?
I tried to find all these guys, and I could not find any of them.
I'd love to talk to one of them just to find out if they would talk about what a shithead it was to work with this.
Get Robert S. Mitchell. He's got to be. I tried accounting and publishing and different just trying anything to get to somebody in that age group that would be I worked for WWF magazine. I was general manager.
I mean, most of those guys probably don't. They're probably so much more successful in their careers now that they wouldn't put that on their resume.
No. Not even the one guy. I couldn't even find anything on that was the head of publishing, Emmanuel.
Yeah.
He's just always listed as an editor for WWF books and stuff like that.
That guy who had all those jobs and he just completely skips out. Who was that?
Ricciuti.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was telling because he's known as one of the guys you remember. He gives it zero time.
Vince runs into Linda backstage at an event. How are things going, Vince? Well, aside from being threatened,
God, what a snake.
I
Yep.
know, he's such a bitch.
but wouldn't you know it, he told Linda about his job being threatened, and she let go Mr. Blue and Mr. White.
God, these
And,
guys. Who was the old timey guy that got like the shit kicked out of him from the Hornbaker book?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Mahoney, right?
Yeah. Russo needs to get the Mahoney treatment.
Well, he did in college, remember? When the basketball team beat him up.
For calling the coach maybe a racist. He was doing that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. So Mr. Blue's assistant comes into his office, Vince Russo's office, crying after he's let go. It's the end of the workday. This kind of tells you to what Larry was saying. Everybody is going out for drinks to say goodbye to Mr. Blue, this asinine general manager.
Uh-huh.
Would you like to go? Would I like to come? He said without him, he's not even missing a beat. He fires right back. Would I like to come? No, I'd much rather give myself an enema.
Cool.
Linda McMahon hires Robert S. Mitchell back about a year later. And Russo says, well, now he's humbled. Now his ego has been set aside. And boy, was he nice to me then. In fact, we became friends.
Uh-huh. I'm sure you did.
Chapter 30. I'd rather read than watch TV. And Vince Russo says, he talked about this in the second book. Man, I hate reading. Is there anything more boring? Says to the person reading a book he wrote.
Now, do you have to be a active reader to be a decent writer?
I would say yes, it helps. The more you read, the better you'll write.
I mean, in art, there's always like those few weirdos who like don't even consume what they're creating. Like I think of like David Lynch, who always said he liked pictures more than movies.
Right.
And same with music, you'll get like outsider guys, but yeah, you gotta fucking read to be able to write.
Wasn't one of the classical guys like Mozart? But didn't they? One of the claims for one of them was maybe the guy's a Solari. Who feuded with Solari? Is that Mozart?
Mozart, yeah, right. He started at like age 5.
Yeah, didn't he? Yeah, he never heard anything. He's just was
That's
just
right. So
prodigy,
he'll
allegedly.
Yeah.
Russo's a prodigy.
sports entertainment prodigy.
Yeah, he loves TV. He just wants you to know that he loves it. And now, then say Vince jumps in and goes, you know what's important to me now? Reading the Bible and going to church.
That's I know I've belabored it, but that's why I have so much more respect for Gewurtz. Why didn't Russo write for TV? I could have wrote for the UPN show or something.
He gives a reason why he thinks Hollywood never grabbed him.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Drops it. Yeah.
Why didn't he try to? He didn't make any fucking attempt though. Like,
no.
God, he's such a fucking mark. Like,
yes.
And we were making fun of Gewurtz for being a mark, but Russo is a fucking mark. He is the markiest of the marks. Like,
he's a super fan who goofed his way into the business.
And never moved on from it.
Yes.
He's JD from New York with a couple of lucky bounces.
Yeah.
They've launched Raw magazine.
Oh, hell yeah. I remember
he's kind of pushing it ahead where he's saying it immediately starts out as very cutting edge. And it's like, I have a few of those early ones. They're just kind of recap. Vader's on the cover of one.
Oh, the bloody one?
This I think is when he splashed Michaels.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look. That's why there's someone.
Well, I have a story. When we went to SummerSlam 96, so I would have been 11. and friend's stepfather took us. He was an old Italian man, just there taking the kids. And
Was he a Bruno
bought us
fan?
all. Was he what?
Was he a Bruno fan?
I never thought to bring it up. That's certainly a regret. But he bought us all a copy of Raw magazine, and I thought it was too lewd to bring home because it was like the Sable one.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed.
My.
I definitely had my Raw magazine like underneath the bathroom sink, but it was like stuffed between the the Sports Illustrated for kids and
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, WWF magazine. Look at this here. What year is this? August 95. Is this too much? You got Alundra Blaze there in a swimsuit feeding Diesel a slice of watermelon while Brett's really he's looking at Razor's looking I think at Diesel's crotch.
they all. What is the implication there that they're gonna
Take turns.
The Boys, A Girl of Summer, 80 sun-soaked pages. Let me just real quick look at the... Oh, Robert S. Mitchell. There you go. Editor Vince Russo. Where's the art director that... Troy Santee was the guy. No, that's assistant art director. I wanted to know who suggests the gardening.
The what?
The gardening, wrestlers gardening. That's what he said. The art director, didn't he say that? The art director pitched that idea.
Oh, okay.
I just have an assistant art director. The winner of In Your House. There he is, standing in front of it.
Matthew Pomposello.
Okay, let's see if I've got the old. Let's see, do I have the Sunny? Hold on. Oh, I got the Sunny. Here's this March '96.
Ooh, sunny days.
The golden-haired fox. Okay. He says that Raw magazine is going to be shoot interviews, right? It's going to be real, not fake. And he
Gonna rival
starts.
The Economist.
He starts
Interview with Gore Vidal.
it's real like yes. 20 questions with Michael Douglas where he talks about fucking. He talks about the goofy gimmicks that they had in the new generation era, and then he goes, this is why I sometimes chuckle when I hear and read about Vince McMahon, the creative genius. But over at Raw Magazine, they're ahead of the time. They're doing shoot interviews, blood on top of blood, and oh, those girls in swimsuits.
I could reel off a list of dumb Russo gimmicks longer than Vince's 95 run. They all came within 1 year themselves. The Maestro.
Here we go. Hey, wait, I like that guy.
Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince Ikea.
Nice. Oh, it just rolls off the tongue.
Remember that?
Strap
He dressed
in.
like Prince, and
No,
they gave him Booker T's
Yeah,
wife.
I remember
it, but-
Paisley. God damn, that's a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, I need everybody to strap
What
in.
is
It's
the
about to get
Sorry, I'm back to the NXT. What's the culling? Is he
the
Dane?
calling. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're stable or something, right?
Okay.
We take a break before we keep going.
Okay, because it's about to get vile.
Yeah.
All right, is everyone strapped in? They're ready.
I'm ready to get hard.
Vince Russo. Yeah, that's right. Chapter 31, Smitten. Remember when Vince Russo was like, I don't remember anything or anyone. Everything's a fog. I'll never forget the first time I met Rena Mero, aka Sable. I remember it so vividly. I said, "Oh, this must be one of those big things."
Again, you have a wife, Vince.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he does. But you know who's the most beautiful woman he's ever met or ever seen? It was, and still is, Rena Mero. She was so beautiful, I couldn't even look her in the eyes. Here's where that writing skill comes into play. Those eyes, they sparkled like a glass of fine champagne.
God.
I think I texted Larry this way. I was like, "This is." I started to break. I was giggling. I was snorting. Because then he goes italics. What am I, a freaking poet now? Snap out of it already. But it's so hard when it comes to Rena. Even though he's just the magazine editor at the time, he knew that she would be a star and even more popular than Mark. There'd never been anyone like Sable. He writes, "God, I sound pathetic, but man, she just had it." You know, boy, he doesn't write he doesn't write it like this. You know it. He just writes, "You know it. You either have it or you don't." Sable definitely had it. This guy's so dumb. She had a presence. She walked into a room and it not only lit up, it exploded with blinding gamma rays.
He's out of his mind.
He's literally he's standing next to Vince McMahon going, hubba. Cartoon eyes going out, smoke coming out of his ears.
He's an older man than I, so maybe it's not a barrier for him. But the giant 80s hair was such a turnoff for me. It aged her. Like, she always looked 39.
Right.
Whereas Sonny, you know, had a hip look, and I don't know. Different strokes for whatever.
When it first came on, oh, there's that Raw magazine I was talking about, Macedon on the Loose. Oh, it's when he splashed Monsoon. This is in 96.
Okay.
Oh, this is a Sonny pictorial. Sonny, like you never. Why are these pages stuck together?
Oh God!
I remember. I had.
You remember?
all those
You got
pictures
it,
on
man?
AOL.
I fall asleep to a videotape of myself looping over and over.
I think I've seen that one.
Ahmed Johnson injured. Whoa, that must have been for real. Oh, Rena's, yeah, they have an old one. She first came on. She wasn't quite. You're thinking of this, which is when she. That's
always
Rena
had
after the breakup. No, when she first comes on, it's kind of like it's like gelled down a little bit. It's
Okay, like Wild Man Mark days.
kind of straight. When she was like with when she was first coming off of Triple H to set up the.
Okay.
Val Venus, anybody? Val Venus on the cover? Okay. When he was talking about bad gimmicks in the new generation, he said he can't even remember the plumber's name now, a chapter later. This is very just train of thought. He goes, by the way, it just came to me. The plumber's name was T.L. Hopper. This is in the Sable chapter.
Yeah, because he was cleaning his pipes.
He starts talking about Raw Magazine. He does an interview with Brett where they just, it's a Brett interview, so he's going to talk about, like, I might leave the WWF. I might go to WCW.
My fans in Germany.
He says he showed Bruce Pritchard a rough draft of the interview. And Bruce went to Vince McMahon and showed him. And I just want to note that when Vince Russo goes behind somebody's back, it's for the greater good. When Bruce Pritchard does it, he's being a weasel, and he should have just come to Vince Russo first and let him explain to Vince McMahon what he's doing. Vince McMahon, so gets called into Vince's office over this Brett interview where I guess he brings up WCW and Eric Bischoff. What are you trying to do to me? Put me out of business? And he takes his arm and he clears the desk. And Vince says he's just standing there, blank face, like, huh? Says he wasn't scared or intimidated. He was just in shock. So then he goes, okay, so I wasn't fired. Vince is just mad at me. Yes, Larry. What did you...
No, just you'll get there.
Well, he thinks maybe Vince didn't fire him because Vince realized he needs Vince Russo. Vince McMahon needs Vince Russo more than I need him, he says. You didn't know for what, but for something.
Uh-huh.
He brings up Spaldings. Yes, men have no Spaldings. Yes. Did you see in that little ad?
The Spaldings.
3 times he
ad.
says the word.
In the ad?
Just in here.
Oh, well, Spaldings picks up. I started underlining them. They really pick up. But there was a little commercial I don't remember ever seeing promoting the WWF magazine during the Attitude Era. And it's Vince Russo in a junkyard, and he's going, if you got the Spaldings, he drops it.
Did you watch that, Gus?
No, I did not.
I'm going to bring it up because I was like eating my Long John Silvers as I was watching it, so I didn't get to see it really.
I just can't believe they did a commercial for the... I don't ever remember this, or even seeing it on Raw. It apparently aired during a Raw.
I believe it.
The name's Venom. Vic.
And he's doing Vic Venom.
TV or shooting with you? I don't think so. It's all in the Spaldings. You either got them or you don't. You want fluff? Go eat the marshmallow. You want the dirt? Guess who's got the shovel? You want raw? I'll get downright nasty.
Subscribe to An Attitude. Get 12 issues of both the WWF and Raw magazine.
Shawn Michaels with the belt around his groin.
Yeah, some kid is like, Mom,
Newsstand price.
need a Shawn
Subscribe
issue.
for $19.97. Call 8-
He's got the dirt. He's got the shovel.
Spaldings.
You either have them or you don't. He says, he's not going to name these spineless yes men. He's not going to. But they're reading this book and they know who they are.
Okay.
And, deep down, Vince McMahon's a nice guy. And he
There's
says,
no way Vince read his book.
Just recently, Vince McMahon let go an announcer I used to refer to as the man from Bland, only to take him back after he submitted a novel to Vince stating that he had done what he had done throughout his career as a Titan employee. I was like, who the fuck is this? 2002?
Tony Chimmel?
Yeah.
Did he let him go and bring him back?
I don't know.
He's a total stooge bitch.
And man, this leaves, saying all this about McMahon, this is what leaves Vince so confused about how it all ended with Vince McMahon. It's a thinker. This is, okay. Here we go. Strap in. It's 8 p.m. It's Tuesday night. Vince describes that his 12-hour monster day, quote unquote, is winding down. He's down in the basement writing, or he's in his office. He's not. I don't think he has the basement yet, right, in Colorado. he's watching a basketball game as he's writing all this about Sable and Vince and the magazine. And he has a question. How ugly is TBS basketball commentator Hubie Brown?
I don't know. He's not handsome, but he.
How ugly's Hubie, huh? Gus?
I never paid no mind.
Is this man the ugliest human being on the boob tube or what? And Vince doesn't want to know about what he has to say. I gotta look at this guy for 2.5 hours.
No, you don't.
That's what I wrote. False.
It's not like the commentator's like presently on like at all times. That's very rarely do you
It's not
see
the
that.
Manning cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Russo is not watching that. You want to know why? Give me a hot broad, I'm begging ya. All right, this is what I wrote. Please say Vince, come in here. Whatever happened to Jane Kennedy? What is that, like an episode title from the Workers Club? Whatever happened to Jane Kennedy? Do you remember Jane Kennedy? That's what he wrote. He's asking us. I wrote, yes, she's number 9 on your weird list. She's forbidden fruit. I remember.
Okay.
Jane broke in because she was drop dead gorgeous. That's all. She doesn't know anything. It's because she's hot. When are the networks going to understand that if they put hot broads out there to read the news, ratings will go up? Hot broads are money in the bank. You're maybe wondering, okay, what about other television? How does Vince Russo consume the Today Show? Well, he watches the Today
Katie
Show.
Couric, take off your shirt.
Close. In hopes that little Katie Couric's skirt hikes up over those sweet little thighs.
I never sexualized Katie Couric.
Really? You haven't?
Yeah, and she was always matronly kind of to me.
But have you thought about her short little skirt hiking up over her sweet little thighs?
I'll look for it next time. No.
Is he
What about
just
Connie
constantly
Chung?
rummaging around in his pants?
Barbara
Morning, noon, and
Walters?
night?
Oh, he's
Oh,
getting...
he'll get to everybody. Barbara Walters and Diane Sawyer. Yuck. What are they, 80? This is what Vince wants. Carmen Electra doing the weather.
We did this, Vince. It was called The Naked News. You remember that?
Why isn't everybody watching this? They must be.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Girl would like read the news, but just strip. And it was very sexist.
Right.
And then news story over, they'd be naked, and you'd move on.
Yeah, I can't believe that was not the most popular thing in the world. We have Vince begins to basically his mindset is the only demographic worth catering to is the young male. Keep in mind he is 41 when he's writing this. So I think he's out of the age group at that point, 18 to 39. Is that what it is?
35, right?
35. How about Cindy Margolis doing the sports news in a teddy? He
Got
goes,
his own little ideas.
I don't think I've ever said the word Teddy.
No. No.
And I've never fantasized. Like, I appreciate one, sure, but I've never, like, yeah, go and put that Teddy on. Like,
oh, nice little teddy you got there. Yeah, he can't say sex. He says, hey, nani. So I can't imagine him even saying the word panty or panties.
no, he definitely says panty.
Oh, yeah.
He's gross about it, though.
Amy, where are your panties?
You heard him say raw panties like a couple weeks ago. It was gross. It
Raw
was terrible.
and panties. Oh, did he? Down to
Yeah.
your bra and panties.
He made
Down to
Jasmine
your,
do
I
it.
figured he'd be like a down to your underwear.
No, bra and panties.
I sound like your lover. Bra and panties. Young adult males. Oh yeah, what are they not gonna watch? Sam Donaldson. Why watch Sam Donaldson when you can watch Three's Company?
Sure.
Give me T. Give me A. Give me the whole enchilada. Regis gets it. Like, what? Regis Philbin?
I've sexualized Kathy Lee.
It's not even who he's talking about.
Nope. It's Regis and Kelly. Because the tighter that Kelly's sweater gets, the longer I'm tuning in. And that's why he doesn't like watching The View. Which didn't he say that he does? Oh, I guess it's a letdown.
And this is the after he was born again. Again, we got
Yes.
to keep.
Yes. Oh, that's true. He says he watches The View now, I think. Yes, right. So he's just disappointed in The View. Here's an opportunity. Do you remember how The View would start? They would say the mission statement. Barbara Walters would say the mission statement. What if we got 5 women from different backgrounds and, coming together to talk about today's issues? What would happen? What would we? But no, Vince Russo sees it as an opportunity to do something totally hot. Give me 5 scantily clad models in a very cold studio, and I'm yours for the hour. But instead, we get Star Jones. They dumped the only good-looking broad they had on there because the rest were all jealous of her. Is this a wrestling book? It's gossiping about
This is
The View.
First of all, this is a book.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Finally, Saved Vince comes in. Sorry, Barbara. I just can't believe I wrote that stuff. It's my favorite TV personality now is Joyce Maya, a mid to late 50-something female television evangelist who has taught me more about God and the Bible.
Oh, he spells her name wrong in mine.
No, I have M-Y-E-R.
Yeah.
Is that incorrect?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
Good stuff. Is she
It's
a hot
Meyer.
broad, according to
No,
Russo?
no, not at all.
Okay, so that's why he's picking her. To show growth.
Born again at age 9.
Wow.
Can you be born again at age 9?
Wow.
Isn't that just kind of being born, right? Well, I mean, I guess I would have said by like 6 or 7, I knew like religion wasn't for me. So I guess if I got back into it a couple years later.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that seems like an odd phrasing, but also kind of like people are weird with their own backstories that they create.
Here's some info about her. Owns several homes and travels in a private jet, a Gulfstream 4.
How
Has
tight's
been-
her sweater?
Has been criticized for living an excessive lifestyle. She doesn't defend her spending habits, saying there's no need for us to apologize for being blessed.
So she's one of those prosperity gospel.
Yeah. So
damn.
what is Russo a fucking idiot? He can't even like get Christian faith right.
No.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't he have the other guy that he likes that he put on his second book? And then you look that guy up and he's just anti-gay, anti-this, and he's pretty hardcore.
Vaguely.
Is Joe aware of Russo's beliefs?
Joe.
I don't.
Yeah, isn't that Jay's real name?
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
We're
I'm always
closer.
thrown-
We're closer this week. I'm calling him Joe this week.
Violent Joe.
Man, I was
Again.
disappointed. I could not find any good like Beastman clips on YouTube. So Beastman, if you're out there, you got to up your social shit, dog. Like, come on, let's be serious.
And he's old. He's like 38.
Hey, that's Rookie of the Year material in the WWE.
That's
No,
right.
but like, I don't know. It should be some fucking
His
footage
primes
of
are
it
early.
somewhere.
Maybe
Yeah.
he just started. Maybe he's like a DDP.
No, 15 years ago.
I don't know. I
Joey
saw like a minute 38 clip of some shitty Matt Tremont match, like shot on a cell phone. Like,
Yeah,
I need to see his his origin.
come on, dude, get your stuff out there. Come on, be serious, be a pro.
Now we're back to Russo, before Saved Russo, and he wants to give you another perfect example of why Vince McMahon needs him. This is a story from his magazine days. He's at King of the Ring. It's 1996. Stone Cold Steve Austin has won. And moments before making his acceptance speech, he ran it by Vince Russo.
Hey, Vince.
yeah.
Magazine guy Vince doesn't even really know him. What do you think about this? Which today, Steve Austin, all of his stuff got aggregated. His interview with Chris Van Vliet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all my promos were off the cut. I never ran that shit. Like, I'm saying it out there live. That made me think of that. We've kind of talked about it before. The Vince Russo, Steve Austin, where Steve Austin was doing his podcast and had Vince Russo on. It's kind of hard to
Get him on all the
listen
time.
to. I guess I only heard him once, or specifically once. Maybe it was the first time he had him on. But it's a lot of Vince going, do you remember this? He remembers it. And Austin going, yeah, not really. Sure. And that's right, because so let me get through this here. So Austin, he says Austin runs it by him. He's not paying attention. He's paying attention when he says it live. And it hit me with the impact of a Catherine Zeta-Jones lap dance.
What's this guy's fucking problem?
Yeah, I thought he could take it or leave it. Just fuck something. Come on, just what you'd be less horny all the time if you just gave into your carnal desires.
My wife? That's like my mom. Get out of here, sicko.
She's the mother of my children. I can't do that.
Yeah, like we're basically his age when he wrote this book. Even like at my most depraved, horned up, we're talking, we've taken a couple of the things from the Better Health. Like, if I'm writing a book, it's not going to be every reference isn't going to be like, man, I was, getting worked over like a, pair of hooties
not even
in Cincinnati. Like,
but they're not even personal experiences.
Yeah.
It's just
things he's seen on the T. Saw was it Entrapment where she goes under the lasers?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's on his mind, and he's just again hubbada, hey nani.
I remember when I was watching Alicia Silverstone and Batman. Like, I'm not. You don't need to put that in there.
Yes.
God, she was hot in that though.
Oh, I remember. I was on vacation camping, and made
that
it out to the theater.
That was the summer I became a man. But see, that's funny. He's just like says random. He's a guy like, you know what I mean? You ever have that guy when he's like, "Hey, check her out." Like, just like you're making me uncomfortable, guy.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Hey,
I mean,
check it out. At 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. You know, like
the boss would show me the naked pictures of the Backpage girls.
I had
this one I'm talking to, and it's like the grossest, most naked picture you could think of.
Yeah,
mowing lawns. Okay. That was my boss. Yep. Stack of Perfect 10 magazines. And if I'm telling that story again, sorry, Colin. Moratorium on them.
Yeah, the funny thing, I was just thinking about that. We heard that stuff.
Throw it in the wiki, Colin. Well, I'm going back to Florida here in March for a week. So guess what? Maybe I'll get a new spring training story or something. Have I told the one about the girl projectile vomiting?
I don't think we've gotten that one.
Okay.
My dad set off Lance Johnson's car alarm. That was his spring training story.
Lance Johnson.
I talked about my brother
He's
chasing
an
down
outfielder
Carly
for the White
Yastrzemski
Sox.
in a golf cart. And I told that one.
Lance Johnson.
Anyway, Vince Russo hears Austin 316 and goes, magic. He knew that was going to make Steve a star. Maybe it's because I just have a good instinct for the business. It was just like when I met Rena.
You don't have a good instinct for the business.
And then he brings up that, this is okay. So Austin does this promo. Vince Russo goes to the office, I guess, and makes a new cover for the Raw magazine edition where it's, Austin in black and white and the blood's red. And he puts Austin 316 on it and he shows it to Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon goes, what does Austin 316 mean? It's what he said, the King of the Ring. It's going to be huge. I don't get it. Change it. Now, I only bring this up because it sparked to me. If I recall correctly, on the Steve Austin podcast, Vince Russo claimed what happened was, so on Monday, he's at Raw following King of the Ring, and he looks out and he sees a sea of Austin 316 shirts and signs or something like that. They were homemade shirts. It was something bizarre where it was like, wait a minute.
That's the legend, yes.
And then he went back to, same thing. He went back to Vince McMahon. This Austin 316 thing, we got
What?
So, Vince's true genius is that he surrounds himself with geniuses.
It's like Abraham Lincoln.
He does. Oh shit! What is the name of it? I say this all the time. I own the book. What's it called?
Oh fuck! That shit.
They made
I
the
know
movie
exactly-
about it.
Oh god. I know it's killing me
Cabinet
right
of
now.
Enemies or whatever it is. Rivals. What is it?
Cabinet?
Cabinet of Rivals.
Room of Rivals?
Abe Lincoln. Rivals.
Cabinet of Rivals.
Okay.
Team of Rivals.
Team
of
of Rivals. I own this fucking book. I read it. Kevin Dunn, by the way, is his example for a genius around Vince McMahon. Much like I was, Kevin was and still is one of Vince's best kept secrets.
Have you ever referred to yourself as a best kept secret?
No, I toot my horn too much for that. Well, Vince Russo wants you to think about this. Why aren't there any credits at the end of Raw?
Because it makes you look like a jerk off. Leaf fitting.
Paul Levesque.
It is funny though that like I keep seeing like old territory shows though. They've been doing like the credits since
Right.
like the fucking 60s. Like
I'm sure that's what Paul. He's just trying to honor the great
Yeah.
ones by bringing it back.
yeah, like Bill Watts, executive producer at Link.
No, Vince Russo. It was purposeful by Vince McMahon, so you didn't know who was really responsible for the show. Kevin Dunn, Vince Russo, etc. And he goes, "Yeah." What? You look a lot later.
Oh, sorry, I didn't want to break your train. Can
No.
I butt in with something
Yeah, no.
related? Unfortunately, Jasmine St. Clair is on my Twitter feed now. I don't
Mm-hmm.
How's she doing?
The Mickey Rourke GoFundMe is ironic. A few years ago, when a good friend of mine, Necro Butcher, was laying in a hospital bed in Japan, and I set up a GoFundMe to help him with his medical bills, I reached out to Mickey and his assistant to share the link. They wouldn't. For someone who portrayed a wrestler who was living the realities of wrestling to not even share the link to help us reach the goal was messed up.
Hey Mickey, could you share this Necro Butcher link out?
Okay, a few days ago, I was telling
And
Larry.
Necro Butcher has like a lot of problematic.
Yeah, exactly. Now Mickey's, who has a little bit more pub than Necro Butcher. What if it's a scam? You know what I mean?
And that doesn't
Now
say like
Mickey's
he
on the hook.
deserves to be. I don't. What's going on with Mickey right now?
He's
It's
being a
weird that
victim.
everybody all of a sudden. I feel like all of a sudden, everyone was like, "Wait a minute, what the fuck is going on with Mickey Rourke?"
Yes, he's
And
being
then a few days
victim in
later,
his house.
he's not aging well, and I don't know if he's going. He's apparently he has no money. He has no credit, nothing. He has no accounts. He just kind of lives or hangs out with his assistant or something.
So Jasmine St. Clair though says he deserves it for not sharing out the Necro Butcher link.
Yes.
I know that Mickey Rourke can afford to pay for an app where he can mess with his face with AI. I know that. He can afford that. That's going, I guess, to his manager's account. That subscription.
Can I do voiceover?
I don't. You'd think that somebody would hire him for something. Oh, in
But
that
he's
part of
also
that
a pain in
story.
the ass. So
Yes, and part of that story is, gosh dang, who was working with him? Somebody was working with him, and basically said Rourke refused to not put his dog down. That he insisted on having his dog with him at all times, even during the scene, and so they just fired him and hired Michael Madsen.
What a story. Michael Vance.
How'd you
Hey.
get the job? Mickey Rourke wouldn't put his dog down.
That in Iron Man 2, they said one of the big issues was him saying that he needs a bird, a parrot, or whatever it is,
Great
a
art.
exotic bird.
Yeah,
And they're like, why? And he's like, this is part of the character.
that's why.
You like it does result in him going in his stupid Russian accent, the bullet. Where's my bullet?
Oh man, that's
We'll get your bird. Sam Rockwell. You'll look Mickey Rourke, Sam Rockwell. Kevin, okay, so he says, does Phil Jackson ever go up and go, it was all me? It wasn't any of the players.
Yeah, I think he wrote a whole book about it.
Well, how's
Called
this
the
for a
triangle offense, bitch.
How about this? Kevin Dunn and Vince Russo are to Vince, Kobe, and Shaq.
Stop.
That's what he wrote. It just started to irritate Vince Russo. Okay. And then he went and grabbed himself as you do, you grab yourself a copy of Cigar Aficionado. It was the one with Vince on the cover. I don't know why Vince Russo is doing this. He seems very, when he writes about things, he's very like, he can't stop. We talked about in the second book. He can't stop going online. He'll read any random ass interview about something. I don't know if he's looking for it to see if he's mentioned or what the deal is, but he seems very, he consumes a lot of outside media regarding certain people. And he looks for, I guess he's like, maybe in the cigar magazine, maybe that's when I'll get my credit. And he did give somebody credit. He gave the creative credit to his son, Shane McMahon. Oh. And this is where Russo says, hey, wait a minute. Not to take anything away from Shane, who, again, he loves Shane, remember, he loves him. But he's not writing the show for 8 to 10 hours. What did it say? Every Friday. Vince Russo works 8 to 10 hours a week, and then
what could take that long to write a show like that?
he's writing 2. That's part of the problem when he leaves. He's writing 2 2-hour blocks of television. Look, many people don't understand his contributions to the Day of the 7 ratings. Here you go, Larry. And who are not understanding his contributions, who don't get it because he's not getting any credit. I'm talking about people in Hollywood. Or I might have had a real opportunity if only they'd known, if only they'd seen any, like, Vince McMahon saying something in an interview. Maybe they do the credits at the end of the Raw.
That's so stupid. But
Well,
okay.
what's done is done. He'll never know. Here's another magazine story that's one of his favorites. It's about Sonny. He brings up that, of course, all the women in the locker room fight all the time. Cat fight. You know, women, they just can't get along. So, you need to know all this because they do a swimsuit edition of Raw magazine. And he says they're going to do a Sable cover and a Sonny cover. And he writes that, I think we called them like collector's editions. Basically, it was a marketing ploy to make readers buy 2 copies instead of 1. It's like, that's correct, Vince. Yes, that's what. I think he thinks there's some kind of like game at play. It's just like, that's, well, no, when you want to do this, yes, you make individual things and people collect them. They buy more than 1 copy. Oh, wait. Before he continues the story.
Hang on, I can't hear you. You don't pick up when you were playing that.
Oh, what's the deal? He wants to know with companies putting hot chicks on the cover of their magazines, and then putting. No, that's not it. We know Vince likes that, but why are they putting? Why are they putting plastic sheets over the magazine so he can't see them? Put them in little plastic bags.
Dog. Come on, dude.
Are you ready for this, Gus?
No, I'm not.
He's at the newsstand. He's looking at the magazines. He sees them in the plastic bags. He can't see all of it, right? He's looking at Stuff magazine with Leah Remini on the cover.
Oh my God.
And it's teasing us about more photos inside. Fuck you teasing me like this. I want to look at this magazine right here, right now. I don't want to buy it. Yeah, I ripped that thing open.
This is a crime. This is an actual crime.
Then he just writes, Leah Remini so hot. Straight from the streets of New York. I really want everyone to
Have you ever
picture.
seen a magazine at a newsstand and the cover, the tease was just so much. You just had to work through that cellophane.
The newsday guy's like, no, not you again. Hey. I know. I see your eyes darting. He's getting all worked up. Why does he just buy
for
the
change in
magazine?
this pocket a little too long?
Yeah. Hey, pal, you ripped that bag. Don't try to run out this time. You're buying it.
Oh, hey, 99.
And then he goes, hey, look, if you don't want me ripping open those bags, put them in something different. I just wrote at the end, what an odd man. Have some
Well,
class.
because he makes one more Seinfeld joke at the end.
Yeah. How about putting in a pill jar? You know, no one can open those. And then he writes, the same Vince comes in and he goes, Vince Russo, bad boy. Wow, it's hard to believe how juvenile it was only 2 years ago. He still hasn't written bitch slappers about, too.
Has any of Amy's friends read this book?
I
You think it's like the
100%
scene in
just-
Private Parts where Allison's listening to him in the car and she's like, it's just a character.
That's what he wants her, but she's wondering, when does the Vince Russo start, and when does the Vince Russo end, or Vic Venom? And then he goes, oh, man,
When he's
so we get
losing
over-
tens of thousands of dollars trying to pay a programmer.
Vince Russo, bad boy. And he goes, why do I want to come off like the bad boy 2 years ago? And I was like, oh shit, we might get some Vince Russo self-reflection here about like his quirks. Nope, he says he has no idea. He doesn't know. He has no clue where anything comes from. And he just wants you to know that he does not even pick up a magazine like Stuff anymore. It's just not registering with him. It's not that he doesn't want, he just no longer wants. It's just not a drive for him.
Man, I wish like social media likes were still public. Like he has to have like a total like gooner follow list, right?
Yes. Early on when he wasn't aware other people could see it. I'd love to check that out. Yeah, this whole where he's like, it's Stuff magazine. It's not even actual pornography. I sent you the pictures of the photo shoot. It's just her in like, I guess, bra and panties. I suppose a swimsuit. I think it's a swimsuit. This is FHM or Max. Like, what's he talking about? Where he's like ripping into Stuff. Was Stuff even really covered up? What's he talking about?
I don't remember it being that way.
Yeah, the only magazines I remember being like covered up were like anything that had nudity in it.
Yeah.
I think
Stuff I don't think had nudity.
No, Stuff, FHM, Maxim. Yeah, it was just,
yeah, I don't, it's like, that's what something, he's a 41-year-old man, and that's something you'd see like at that time, someone's like college dorm or something like that in the back, like, if it wasn't just a flat-out Playboy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was for like...
Wait, you're just thumbing through it at the newsstand?
Well, it was...
So you could like save it for later?
To be fair, he's in the city where there aren't many newsstands where you can kind of just chill on the corner. But it's still weird.
But come on, at least flip through like sporting news or something. Woodworking, I don't know, popular mechanics, that's cool. Popular science, I like. Condé Nast Traveler, Food Magazine. Any of those would have been fine.
I think that the FHM Stuff, Maxim, why he's on that track, is more... Well, one, he's got that weird thing where I'm sure Playboy's just too aggressive for him, like... but also those what did they call them? Men something. They called them. They had some name for them back in the day.
Okay.
Lad mags, or is that just a British?
Yeah, no, you are right. Yeah, that is. Yep, that was the term.
It was for like people. They were not going to do Playboy, but yes, if you want to see Leah Remini as scantily clad as possible, or a Jessica Simpson or whatever, the people that were currently culturally somewhat relevant, that's where you have to go to get any kind of juice.
There's
yeah,
two
you can get a Stacy Keebler in there, I think, for example.
Two I remember. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
And Michelle Branch.
Oh, I'd be everywhere but
Branch.
here.
I don't know. That's not clicking. Michelle Branch.
She was
What was
a
she in?
singer.
She was, yeah.
Oh, she was a singer.
Yeah.
She's fine.
I don't remember. I don't remember. Not My Lover. My wife would know who this is. She's like, Michelle Branch. Come on, you don't remember that?
'Cause you're everywhere.
Yeah. Yes, knows it.
Yeah.
I'm not restrained. So he's back to the photo shoot, and that's so he just would like to say, okay, so because the women are fighting, we need to shoot Sable one day, Sunny another day. We're not doing it on the same day. So we shot Sable first. I can't tell you how many times I looked at those pictures need to listen to the audiobook of this because it's not.
Does he do the audiobook?
No, it's another guy, and he's almost doing like a slight New York accent because he thinks Vince is from. Yeah, another guy had to read this. Man, I can't tell you how many times I looked at those pictures. Just one glimpse of something I just wasn't supposed to see. That's all I was asking for. One nip slip. That's all. God, the pictures were gorgeous. You knew she was Playboy material. She was, and still is, the perfect woman. Okay, so now it's Sonny's day to shoot, and she.
Oh, that's a good photo spread.
If I were Sonny, I wouldn't have wanted to see
Which one? The Michelle Branch one?
I haven't gotten there yet. Sorry, I'm working through the full list. The Leia Remini.
Oh, okay.
Sonny's okay. So Sonny wants to see Sable's pictures so that she knows what she's competing with, and I guess that's Vince's read on it. And he's like, "Don't ask me, because then I'm voting Sable." And then he offers up Sonny had a different kind of beauty than Sable, but hey, you're not turning either one of them away.
I mean, I'm taking Sonny 6 days a week and twice on Sunday.
For Sonny's cover, he chose a picture that he thought was hot, very exotic. Her hair thrown back, her mouth open, a look of ecstasy in her eyes, and she was on her knees.
Oh, yeah, I had that issue.
Well, so Sonny sees the cover before it goes out, I guess. She starts screaming, "I'll sue for sexual discrimination. I'll sue for sexual discrimination. That's not me on the cover. That's not me." And he said to Sonny, "If that's not you, then who is it?"
I don't believe this.
Yeah, what is she talking about? I don't understand the context.
Yeah.
And this brings up, oh boy, let's talk about sexual harassment in the workplace.
That HR cunt.
A current storyline in JCW.
Face? What was her name? The
Human Mask. This is right. This is relevant. This is JCW right now. We're in the beginnings of it. Now, this is one of his pet peeves: sexual harassment in the workplace. This is the biggest injustice known to us men.
Have you guys ever had a problem with this? Because I've never have.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. He explains his mindset. Maybe you might agree. He was dealing with women in WWE and WCW all the time. And he was scared to death of being hit with the sexual harassment deal. It's easy because he sees it. It's just an easy way to get what you want: money, promotions, getting out of a contract. You cry sexual harassment and your boss is shaking in his corporate loafers. The whole idea of it is insane. He was in a position of power. And do you know how many women came on to me? Anyone throw out a guess?
No.
Hundreds.
I was going to say maybe one person was that such a sick puppy that they were like, maybe if I sleep with Vince Russo.
I mean, anyone who's ever like come on to me in an office situation, that's because that's been my own natural charisma and swagger, not because like.
I'm trying to think of all the women that were in the roster. Usually they were involved with a wrestler.
Yeah,
the wrestler might say, well,
they're
with me because I could maybe get them a spot on the card. Maybe you might hear that. But
would it have
Vince
been like
Russo?
magazine people though too? Is he talking even going that far back?
I don't know.
Is he talking about when he was at Will the Thrill video?
Well, he just says,
he says in WWF and WCW.
WCW. I dealt with women in both.
Who in
Well,
WCW?
the only WCW,
Spice,
Molly
Whisper?
Holly.
WCW was
Don't you
no,
dare
what's
say
the
that about
Daphne?
Molly Holly.
I know.
No,
Daphne.
not Daphne. She
Yeah,
had a
do
man.
you-
We know him. He's on Twitter.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think of the women. Think of the women he dealt with.
I know.
Kimberly Page. Probably the most likely, for being honest.
Well, you know, DDP was living that
That's
life.
right.
Vince,
Him and Eric were neighbors.
Vince claims that many women. Well, he doesn't say. He says, "Do you know how many women came on to me in an effort to further their careers? It was frightening." So here's a thought: if women want to be our equals, then treat us as equals. Okay. Now, he understands maybe a guy's touching you and you don't want to be touched at work. Fine. That's one thing. But if you think that he's looking at you in some kind of way, come on. Really?
You guys have to be told to not look at women at work. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
Vince,
Yeah, that's...
why do I feel like the human mask told Vince that people think he's leering? He's hanging around the women's locker room a little too long.
Wasn't he just talking about how he was, like, rubbing one out to the photo shoots?
He doesn't say that,
Look,
but he pretty much says it, yes.
If you think he's looking at you in a certain way, come on, think twice. Give us the benefit of the doubt. Please.
The fact that you're frightened probably means you have a guilty conscience. I mean, right? He says he's scared to death of getting accused of sexual harassment.
People will know I'm a perv then. So yeah, I wrote Vince likes to leer. The Sable meeting. Yes, it's all gross. It's all weird.
Hey, Rena, you ever seen Long Dong Silver?
Good reference.
I mean, Rena Mero. Can we interview her? Can we get her on the horn just to be like, what was it like being in a room with Vince Russo? Like, how hard were his eyes penetrating you? So he says he's back on the magazine, and he says sometimes, some months, he would literally write the entire magazine himself. So Vince starts asking him to write some promos, the stuff for, hey, we're coming to Chicago, or we're coming to Tulsa. And he equates this to, I more or less became the voice of many WWF superstars, from the Smoking Guns to Bret Hart to Kevin Nash. Some guys used my stuff, others didn't.
Nobody used his stuff.
Then he writes that Jack Lanza, he starts learning under Jack Lanza. And he remembers spending hours helping Sean Waltman, X-Pac, with his promos.
Sean's just high off his melon.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince.
I don't know. Yeah, would it be better for him to cut a Vince Russo promo, or the kind of promo he used to cut anyways, where he'd be like, blah, 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 blah. What was that one?
In the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
What did he say? I'm here to tear ass.
Tear ass. Oh, I thought it was rip ass. Which
Rip ass. One of the two, yeah.
neither one particularly.
I think you're
makes
thinking because he did tear his ass, and so you're thinking,
No, he does say that in his return promo.
yes.
Is he just gonna go around and like fart on everyone? Is that like that's what that always implied to me?
Fire me a FedEx. Is that what is his thing?
Yeah.
Hey, couldn't cut the mustard. We got to work on our Sean Waltman.
FedEx I cannot believe the career that guy had. It really is something. It's crazy. It is like tag team with Kane and all that shit. And that shit was working. That's one of those, everything's over. Even this is going to be over.
Don't downplay him. He was an indie darling in the 90s.
I know. I'm just saying. I can't believe the career he had where he was like, because you think like being 6
Should've
would
gone
be
farther.
like that's what I'm saying. Where it's like he
He
always
should have been
gets
a world
handed
heavyweight
this.
champion. He
I'm
would have
like-
been in today's WWE world.
He's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 kid. He shows up as 6. I'm going, oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 6 Pac. Okay, I get it. Okay, fair. And he kind of survives that. Whatever. Then he gets X Pac.
Is
and
more
he's with-
over.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay. I don't know. It just always seems like he's just kind of skating through. Like, yeah, he never really goes any. What I'm trying to think of the most serious time they had pushed him. Maybe did he do like a Triple H program or something? Maybe like for a
It'd
week
be
or two,
Probably 98.
or like Rock. Maybe he did something
European
with The Rock.
title. Him and D'Lo traded the title.
So
Well, he
he's
did
working.
No, didn't he do a match with Shane?
Yeah.
Would that be the highlight?
Yeah,
Feuding with
or-
Shane.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
one
talks
of my
about it in
favorite
this.
WWE moments ever when the Mean Street Posse jump X Pac and one of the posse gives him the low blow. It is like the most comical. Like he gets like 5 feet on it. It's beautiful.
Russo brought up that Shane handed Sean the match written out weeks and weeks prior. I was like,
that's
here,
right,
this is what we're
that's
doing.
right.
And Sean was like, what the fuck are you doing? So Russo flash forwards to when he's leaving WWF for WCW, and Jack Lanza has been such an important person to him in the WWF that he calls him, and just to be like, this is what I'm doing. And Jack Lanza is like, you gotta do what you gotta do. And he's like, wow, I'm getting to something that I don't like talking about with the wrestling business. And that's what, this industry's in my blood. So that's why it makes me so sad. He goes to call Jack to thank him for everything. And he gets his voicemail. So he leaves like, hey, here's my number, says what he has to say. 15 minutes later, Jack calls back. Amy answers the phone. This is Jack Lanza. Did somebody page me from that number? Hi, Jack. This is Amy Russo. Jack Lanza hangs up the phone. So Vince calls Jack's house a few days later and gets his wife and says, I just hope Jack isn't not taking my call, double negative, isn't not taking my calls because I'm with WCW now. Oh no, Jack isn't like that. I've never heard from Jack Lanza again.
Do what you gotta do. But like sometimes it's just you just fucking work with people and it's not that deep,
It bothers Vince. Where everybody shuts you out when you leave. He thought they
that's
were
kind of how
friends.
life works.
He thought that the WWF was like a chocolate factory and Vince was Willy Wonka. That's what he writes. I wrote kind of. Vince kind of run the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Bro, that Veruca salt.
So anyways, what did he say? When he rose to a position of power in WWF, he brought back Louis. It's an Italian thing.
Shut up.
Hey, Goldust chapter. Vince Russo would like us to know that he's a hypochondriac, and he's always been a hypochondriac. Something he made fun of his mother about. I thought she was batty. He was 6. He got a blood blister on the bottom of his foot. And they had these little rocks outside his house. And he told himself that the blood blister must have been the rock, and somehow the rock had gotten under his foot. And that the rock was then going to make its way all the way to his brain and kill him. And he just says, and again, I don't know how much to believe with Vince because he does every story, every paragraph ends with, I swear to you, honest to God, that's a true story, etc., etc. So he's a teenager now. and he's obsessed with brain tumors. He thinks he's always getting a brain tumor. It's going to kill him. And he even goes, one time he goes and his parents are out at a wedding, and he calls them and he's like, "Oh, I gotta come home. I've got a brain tumor." And they do, and it was just a flu. Sounds like a fun kid. Do you think they told him to go to Indiana?
Probably.
It might have been one of those things too, where like sometimes you just end up with. If I was a shitty student, so this didn't happen with me, but I've heard of people who were better students. Like you just get random scholarships to like.
Yeah. I always kind of figured maybe he just liked the allure of being the New York kid in Indiana. That would have some kind of cachet, maybe help him get laid. Didn't he write that though? All the girls around him, they are all the same, and so then Indiana. Yeah, he did. That was kind of his thing. He was at least his thinking when he applied and got accepted. So now he's married, and he was like, "Remember that bad stretch I went through? I was also, while I was being depressed, he was also like, I'm gonna die." And then he's like, "Guess it was just stress."
From doing what?
Well, sitting in his car selling textbooks, and then working a failing video store, doing a radio show. I don't know. He's the amount of like. I'd love to hear Amy Russo's. It's like her
I would love
book.
I want her rundown of every like failure.
Yes. What was it really like? Well, now he's in his 40s. Now what is he scared about? All the cancers. And also his heart. He's always having basically anxiety attacks. And he's like, oh no. And now recently his daughter Annie had a bump on her head. He's like, tumor. It's a brain tumor. He's rubbing her head. The way he describes it, you think it was like on the top or something. Ends up being a swollen lymph node. She's got allergies. I do like this sentence. Last night I took my sons to see the Nets and left after only 3 quarters because I was worried sick about my daughter.
Keep going. Okay. Come on.
I am. I'm flipping the next page. Where is it? Okay. And he kind of also has this revelation. I can never enjoy the moment because I'm always worried about tomorrow. And I wrote, except for the other times you describe yourself as I'm solely focused on the moment and never thinking ahead or behind. So he's all at once.
You are?
No, Vince has said that the way his mind works is that he's solely focused on the moment and never thinking ahead or behind.
That's true.
And now he's saying part of his problem is he's always thinking about tomorrow and never focusing on the moment at hand.
Well, you could worry about tomorrow. I think his writing is what he means. He takes week by week. So, defend the man.
Well, Saved Vince jumps in and goes, I know why I was worried to die back then. I was afraid I was going to hell.
I have a problem with this.
What?
He's
not going to hell. So, anyways, back to before.
Oh, so you don't have any notes on that? Okay, then let me say.
Oh, yeah.
He just says, tonight if I went to sleep and never woke up, I would know that I'd be going straight to heaven to be with God.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be loved and protected as I waited patiently for my loved ones to join me. I know that I would be side by side, working hand in hand with Jesus. So you just got to walk around with Jesus all day?
Well, Jesus is the one, or God. I guess they're the same. God is the Holy Spirit. Jesus, was always putting him. That's my biggest thing about this God stuff with Vince Russo is that he blames God for all of this stuff. All this stuff that we hate, watch, all this. It's not God's. Don't put that on God.
God's moving them in this.
God's responsible for gold dust.
I just don't like that idea of eternity. It sounds very boring.
Just
Sounds like
walk
an
on the
existential
clouds.
hell.
Like God's like a Pokemon that like just follows you around everywhere.
I like that Vince went first. He knows.
I'd like some privacy, you know.
Sure. And that was my problem with that Von Erichs movie, is that Jackie was still a baby in heaven.
That's
So you
unfortunate.
stay what age you die at? That could suck.
Yeah. So wouldn't like everybody like in the 27 club be doing it right then?
Or it's whose vision is that? Is that Kevin's?
Yeah, I guess suppose so.
Maybe Kevin just sees people in the age that they're locked in.
Okay.
They should have had it where the baby has an adult voice and is like, I'm really an adult now, but he likes seeing me like a baby. Hey, Vince wants Dustin Rhodes. He's coming into the company. He wants to name him Gold Dust. He describes, it's going to be a guy obsessed with movies. That's Vince's kind of idea. Oh, I can't believe it. Larry going to miss this. Vince then broke into this deep, somewhat effeminate voice. And he's like, that's the voice I want for Dustin. And Vince Russo writes, I couldn't quite put my finger on what he wanted. I think it's pretty clear. An effeminate voice. I would love to hear Vince's effeminate voice. Gold. Like, is he just shimmying his shoulders more? Like,
Gold dust. What is it? Yeah, I don't.
like him doing a yoo-hoo kind of thing. What is that? Old movie buff Vince Russo bought a few books with famous movie quotations, which that was his big thing. I'm a movie buff. I know all the lines to Rocky. He comes up with the phrase, you will never forget the name Gold Dust. We can ask Larry. Vince Russo said that when he's pitching Gold Dust, he breaks out into a deep, slightly effeminate voice to show everyone the voice he wants Dustin to do. And we were trying to wrap our heads around Vince trying to do an effeminate voice. Like, what is that? Is he just moving his body a little bit more? Is he actually doing like a hello, sailor? Like,
Maybe he was doing a Jim Barnett impression.
Yeah, that's good.
Or is Patterson?
I love movies, my boy. Like that. So Goldust comes out, and there's chance of slurs, and he types them out there for us. And he goes, "Well, we, listen, we leaned into it, but we didn't say he was." He says the promos that he wrote for Dustin were some of the best work he'd ever done. And if you listen to some of them, you guys, they're pretty funny. That's what he writes. Hey, and he doesn't write what he wrote. He just writes, just imagine what he said when Jake the Snake Roberts was his opponent. So, Goldust is on Conan O'Brien. He says he helps work on the bit where Conan and Goldust have an interaction. And then he says that Vince, because of the public outcry, says, well, Goldust isn't gay. He's just playing on the homophobic fears of others. Anybody else here? I was a big Goldust fan, especially when he was working with old Scott Hall. Ahmed Johnson, too. I enjoyed that. And I was a big Ahmed Johnson guy. And then Goldust really...
Ahmed Johnson. God, I wanted him so bad. He was...
Dude.
Should have been the champ.
Dude, I love that. What really was when Goldust all it takes is Goldust when he's doing his shenanigans and someone's getting all hot and bothered. I'm going, this guy's losing his cool.
Yeah. That's how I.
Scott Hall. kind of similar. When he would slap somebody at the back of their head when they were face down, I loved that. Which that was when Goldust and Scott Hall. Goldust is doing similar stuff, give him a little spanking or something like that. Scott Hall is looking all man.
I wonder if that's where I learned it, because that was my tactic once I didn't hit the growth spurt all my other hockey player friends did. So I had to adapt my game to more of a mental one. And I would do the gay baiting kind of things to get in guys' heads.
You were Brad Marchand. You were the Marchand of that time.
Yeah. Oh, I could get under your skin. Yeah.
Oh man, I would have. You and I would have gotten along. I would have loved it.
I remember. I think it was a St. Ignatius player, which is a very ritzy prep school. Screamed at me as he skated off the ice, "Exit only," referring to his ass, which I had been talking about. He was bothered.
Goldust was the first heel of the 21st century. So what did Vince do with it? He killed it. That's what he says. McMahon killed it. He tells a story. He's like, you want to hear a crazy story? We went to the Oscars and posed in front of the statue. And then the statue broke. Like they had a big, set piece. And they cut a promo in front of it, and then it broke.
That's crazy.
And then a security guard said, I saw you touching the red carpet or something to Vince Russo. And he was like, yeah, that was me. He thought they were mad about the statue that broke or something. So then he goes, Vince didn't want to do Goldust anymore, so now we're just spinning our wheels. He didn't even know what Goldust was. He's just writing shtick for him. He just goes out and goes, maybe we just looked out as wet as possible.
Was to humiliate Dusty?
Yeah, maybe Russo's not getting that memo. He tells a story about Dustin Rhodes saying to him, if Vince pays me $1 million, I will get breast implants.
See, I always heard the story that he wanted to do them for free, basically, and
oh my god,
that's what Mick made it sound like in his book, if I recall correctly.
That's the way I've heard it.
I like the idea of Dustin Rhodes finding out how much at that time breast implants were, and going, wait a minute, if I ask for $1 million, I'm making out with $700,000. Well, when he first says, I will get implants, Vince Russo says, a penile implant? No. Breasts. Keep on walking. McMahon contemplates it, and he says, this is the wrestling business. I tell you what, sane men go nuts. And he says one time he was driven insane, or somebody thought he was insane when he asked Kevin Nash to gig him. Anyways,
Nash doesn't seem like a guy that would gig you. Why would you ask
I didn't want to, belabor the point, but he's not a known bleeder.
And you want me to
what
cut
the
you?
Fuck you asking me?
That's why he's asking him, so he can say that he asked somebody. I was willing to bleed. Who'd you ask? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, go talk to Disco. I don't give a fuck.
And he knew early on. Disregard him saying that it was his destiny and it was in his blood and all these friendships he's burned in this conquest. But he says, when he was first hired, he knew that he was not going to be in wrestling for the rest of his life. It's just too screwed up. And then he talks about, can you believe Shane and Vince have bladed each other and wrestled each other in blood? It's disturbing. It's March 2002. Vince has brought in the NWO. Do you remember this time?
I do.
Yeah. Well, did you know that was in an effort to revitalize their plummeting ratings?
I did.
We're less than 2 weeks before WrestleMania. You got these dummies, right? They're returning NWO. And what happens? The ratings went down 0.2 of a point. Oh,
Did they
miss me
sign
yet?
more tits?
0.2. That's what he's putting. That's what he's left to grab onto.
Yeah.
And so he goes, maybe Vince McMahon just doesn't get it. Okay, it's not about the people. It's about the writing. Robert De Niro, right? 15 minutes, bomb. Jackknife, bomb. The score, take it or leave it. Godfather 2, epic. Goodfellas, epic. Casino, epic. So how do you go from bomb to epic? How do you do it? It's the writing. Did you catch in the score? Because he probably doesn't like it himself, but it's got Brando, Norton, and De Niro, and it's like it made money. He's like, take it or leave it. Not a bomb. Not a hit.
Okay.
Not epic. So, look at the Seinfeld cast. How does Jason Alexander, Michael Richards, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus go from the greatest sitcom of all time? Oh, I take umbrage with that. To having their shows canceled when they're on their own. Writing. Larry David is a genius. That's okay.
Well, he's kind of right because he says the guy could make a star out of anybody, and he kind of made one out of that Maria Sophia gal in Curb.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that season?
Yeah, the assistant.
No.
Wasn't she an assistant?
Remember the guy who drowns in his pool, and it's the Mexican guy working at the restaurant, and he's got to get his daughter.
Hires her. Yeah, he hires her as an assistant, or he's like, I'm gonna help you get work, but she
she's an
eventually, I think,
actress.
become. Yeah, but I think
He has to put her in the show as blackmail.
Right. I took it as he asked her to do things, and she can never. Maybe I'm just conflating
She was not an
things.
assistant. She wanted to be an actress. That's what she did.
Well, I remember that. Look, that
But
girl,
then in
that
the
girl
next
is
season,
good.
she blew up to be popular, and she's got another acting work.
Oh yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
Um,
So he's not wrong. But I don't know what his point is. Like, we know this. What are you belaboring?
Well, look at some of the guys that were over when he was there, and where are they now in 2002? Val Venus, and he keeps spelling it like the planet, so I feel like there was some kind of spell check where it just was like, you want to change Venus to Venus? And he was like, yep.
Well, earlier, Vince was Vice.
Val Venus, Goldust, Mark Henry, where are they now? They're dead. That's what he
I'd say
writes.
Mark Henry had much better days to come.
Yeah.
Goldust revitalized his career as well too. Who was the other one?
What's Val Venus?
Well, he's a wackadoo.
He's a sovereign citizen.
Sopranos.
Yeah,
Whatever
he's a
happened there?
sovereign citizen. He's a traveler.
He's auditing people's First Amendment rights right now.
He was getting into it with Mick a little bit.
Yeah.
Hello, officer. Do you know?
I'm allowed to be filming.
Well, Gus, you're wrong because sexual chocolate's your best case scenario.
Paul Payne? No, that's a.
Yep, he's wrong.
You think that the fans cared whether Mark Henry could work or not? I was like, yeah, that's a little bit of the problem. Why he couldn't get over.
Yeah, if he smashed a pack of light tubes over someone's head, that'd have been cool as hell.
No, the fans cared when he wanted to get down with China. Or, sorry, Charm to get down with China. You think work rate would have gotten him over? No. I don't know. I'm picturing Mark Henry flying all over that ring, and I'm thinking, Yeah, that'd be cool. Sure.
Oh, that's Keith Lee, right?
Yeah. Mark Henry's not singing Indubitably or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, no, Mark Henry's a much cooler promo, but he's also a much bigger guy too. So if he could do like the Keith Lee moveset, that would be incredible.
Mark Henry, learn a moonsault. Do it now. And Vince Russo brings up himself. Everyone hated me on WCW TV. I can't work.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I don't know what his point is there.
He says, well, people, I don't think he had to like go away. Nobody was like, oh man, Vince Russo, this guy, I want to see him get his comeuppance. Everybody was like, when is this over? Oh no, he's ruining it. This is it. This is the swirling around the drain. So Shawn Michaels leaves and he says to everyone, Shawn Michaels will never have to work another wrestling match again because he'll be over forever because he's an entertainer.
I don't get it.
Well, Shawn ended up working more matches to stay right. Didn't he know that he didn't have to work all those matches when he came back?
I don't know why he thinks Shawn is such a great out-of-ring
personality.
entertainer. Yeah.
I saw
was
his
he ever?
promo on Raw.
Yeah, I did.
2 nipples for a dime.
He was even awkward when he would do commentary in '98. You know, that summer he did a few Raws.
You ever see him do the sportscaster thing? You ever see that
I've
clip?
seen that as well.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Anyways, he says, oh, do you want to know? Like, he goes, look at the shows on HBO.
Like Arliss.
Listen to the dialogue. That guy likes. Why do you think we talked about this? Vince Russo liking. You know he loves Sopranos. But there's no
he
way.
skips the therapy scenes.
I hate. Yeah, I hate to be that fan, but he's not appreciating. He's not appreciating Sopranos properly.
Who's gonna get whacked this week?
He thinks when they put in the shot of with the agents watching Carm and Adriana play tennis.
Yeah.
He's like, that's Amy. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta put this in here for the boys.
Yeah.
When I knew Stephanie, she was still so innocent, so naive. How old do you think Stephanie is right now? When he met her at 40, or whatever he would have been, 30.
Graduated in '98.
So he's working. He's probably running into her 96, 97.
So he's going to be 37, and she'll be 22.
Okay. Yes, she just recently graduated from college. And he says that Vince kept Stephanie close as he took her into the business. Vince guided her with marshmallow hands.
Okay.
Just like Vince Russo would have handled his own daughter, he says.
Well, now he's got ring rat.
You know, he says, say that. He does say, oh, I'm going to be such a father guy. I'm such a father figure to you.
Remind me of her.
As he's going, what about the hey nanny nanny? As a father-like figure to you, what about the hey nanny nanny?
Tell me about these tributes that you're getting.
I can't hear. Imagine her telling. By the way, he wants this show to get picked up, and she's out there being like, talking about. You gotta talk about it. That's probably what he's saying. I get it, but do you have to talk? And did you get mine? Vince. Oh, so he says Stephanie's office was across the hall from Vince's. Vince wanted to know what his little girl was doing at all times. What a sweetheart Stephanie was. Just like her mother. He probably had no business being in the business. You know, this business is rough. These two, Linda's so lovely and Stephanie's such a sweet young lady. This business is horrible. God, it seemed like she was still a little girl back then. I can remember when her hats pulled around her childish face. She was everybody's kid sister.
This is problem.
Hey, she's 22. She's out of college. She's working for her dad.
Sure.
Well, Vince feels kind of at fault. He was the one that pitched putting Stephanie on TV, even though he assumes it would have happened anyways. It was the old, we gotta have Undertaker kidnap somebody. And then he writes this. After saying all this is what he goes. Remember how Vince used to make her dress sneakers, pigtails? It was horrendous. Stephanie was a beautiful young woman. Why not portray her as that?
Okay.
So cut to, he's watching WWF programming. He's left WWF. I couldn't believe it when a grown-up Stephanie McMahon showed up on TV after I left. She went from daddy's girl to bitch from hell in light speed. It was okay. I always thought Stephanie was beautiful. Why not take advantage of that? It's her current role behind the scenes that I'm questioning.
Well, remember, that is the first angle post him leaving. Remember, because it didn't have an end. Yeah.
And what's her role that he's raising an eyebrow at? Well, she runs creative. She replaced Vince when he got fired. And now you're thinking, oh, well, he's probably upset because she didn't do the time that he did. Didn't do the dues, right? No, it's not about that. It's about protecting Stephanie. Why would you put your daughter in a position like that? She's dealing with the politics, the paranoia, the insecurity of the boys. It takes years off your life, Russo writes. And he's a male. And he was 15 years older, okay? He can handle it. He's just a young lady.
She
Vince
gamed
put
it
her-
a million times better than Russo ever could.
Yep.
And now Vince has put her in this position where, as the ratings plummet in 2002, everyone's going to blame Stephanie. What a shame. I said, well, including Vince. So then she also, goes, oh, look, Stephanie's got the same problems he probably had. Got a mixture of wrestlers turned writers who lack a real knowledge of wrestling. But at the end of the day, it's Vince's business, and it's Vince that makes the final call. Except when it was me, Vince Russo, and I deserve the credit.
Hey, Nani.
So he says, oh, you're probably reading this book and going, oh, Mr. Tuesday morning quarterback.
Isn't it a Monday morning quarterback, you asshole?
Yes.
No.
He's reading Peter King, which
Yeah.
I think had
Monday
a
Night
Tuesday morning
Football is
quarterback
king now.
column. Yeah.
And you're thinking you could book a better Raw. Is that what it is? And he says, you know
I
what?
do, all the time.
Vince agrees. He goes, you know what? I can, and I would. Do I have the answer? Sure I do. And then he brings up that when TNA was starting up, somebody said that they were talking about him joining. And somebody told him that somebody said, if Vince Russo's so good, why isn't he still working in the business? And he goes, well, hey, let me ask you this. Could there even be the slightest chance I'm no longer in the wrestling business because I choose not to be? Is that possible?
And he does a lot of begging to come back for a guy who chooses to be out of it.
Is it possible I'd rather be watching TV? Everybody Loves Raymond with my kids every Monday and Tuesday and not in wrestling? Just a thought. I just wrote JCW. So, Vince Russo knows that he was light years ahead of the wrestling business. That's a quote. And Jack Lanza had kept telling him to be patient, be patient, be patient. He's getting sick of it. He brings up that he was working very hard. He's producing vignettes. He's writing the magazine. He's doing the promos. He's helping out there. He's all the responsibility he's taking on. And he's guess who's getting neglected, not being seen or heard. His family. And this is not after Saved Vince. This is before Saved Vince. Today I sit here embarrassed because Will, the firstborn, from ages 7 to 12, that's when he was working for Vince McMahon. And he can never make up for those days he missed. Fortunately, since my son VJ turned 9 a couple of years ago, I've been able to be with him every day. And then he writes, I just have 2 different relationships with my 2 sons. Because I was there for one during his childhood and not there for the other. I mean, he's counting 7 to 12, that period. So, let's see. Shame on me. Shame on me for being so selfish. Shame on me for tuning Amy out. For putting her on the back burner. For what? What was she going through? What was I responsible for putting her through? Never there. Never returning her phone calls. I'm missing every function at the kids' schools. I was failing our marriage. I mean, this is, what, failure 2? Is this number 2 or 3? And it's one more to come. As far as him being like, oh no, my family's falling apart.
Oh, sure. He says he makes $250 a week now. And somehow, some way, the bills still get paid. It's called your wife.
Yeah, she works. That's established. She works. Yeah, he says, I've gone from making $500,000 per year to about $250 a week. $250 a week.
Is that writing for TNA?
Is he currently writing for TNA?
I think he would be in 05.
He's not getting paid
no,
$250
I don't
a week.
think he is.
Is he just showing up though for a few hours and then flying back and they're covering his flight?
I don't think he's there. I think it's Scott D'Amore in that year. So I don't know.
So who knows? It may have just been various miscellaneous consulting or
royalties.
Yeah.
Save Vince shows up and goes, man, can you believe how I write sometimes? It's almost like I'm halfway to being saved almost right there. Like, oh man.
You always believed in God. So it's not like you went from being some devil worshipping Satanist to being a Christian.
Yes. So he's ready to get
like being, quote, saved has had any impact on his life at all as far as his behavior, right?
It made him open up that stupid Ring of Glory promotion, but that's about it.
That was him glorifying God's name. He's looking to get promoted.
His work hasn't affected his work.
No.
Yeah.
Well, he's
still
got the next best thing right now.
Still his family, still being,
Yeah.
JCW, Ring of Glory, same thing. Russo's looking for a promotion. He wants to be brought in the inner circle. He wants to be writing the shows. And they decide to change directions creatively, and they bring in Cowboy Bill Watts. And he goes, he couldn't believe it. First of all, In New York, we hate cowboys.
It was more of a Wild West show back in the 80s, no doubt about that.
Bill Watts is more of a New Yorker than Vince Russo will ever be.
I know.
I believe he's from the New York of the South. Cowboys just weren't on and never will be happening. It's down there with NASCAR. Can racing a car be considered a sport? And he goes on and on. It's like video games to him.
They're just going in a circle.
Same goes for golf. Who watches golf on TV? Who plays golf? Hitting a ball. Who cares? I mean, I agree. I know who plays it, though.
To socialize.
Yeah. And then, I don't know where he's at. If he's in 2002 or 2005, he puts in italics and parentheses. I still feel the same way about NASCAR. Who's this? What timeline is this?
It's kind of in that font of saved Vince, is it?
No, that's a different font entirely.
It's just the NASCAR font. Yeah, I don't know.
He's just an Italian. Yeah, And also, how does a grown man go by the name of Cowboy? That's how Jim Ross always used to refer to him. The cowboy this, the cowboy that. Which I would be like, that's annoying. The cowboy wants us to take a look. Okay, Jim. I'm not calling him that. I'm calling him Bill.
God, imagine just having to work amongst all these people and all this just stupid. Oh,
now,
man.
after all that, Russo would like you to know that he's suddenly into Willie Nelson. He just loves it all. He's also discovering Johnny Cash, too. Man, what's wrong with me? See, what you're not getting, Larry, is that music taste should all be regional.
Yeah, it's weird. That's why, I mean, you said it earlier. He's not New Yorker. He's what he thinks a New Yorker is supposed to be. He wouldn't have any great pizza places to take you to.
He didn't know if he should like Billy Joel's doo-wop phase. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I should, but I bet he was really fun in Indiana as a New Yorker. I mean, that's probably where the accent got so thick, and he probably couldn't kick it, like how Austin Butler couldn't kick the Elvis accent. He did such a cartoonish New York accent for 4 years. It's just ingrained.
Maybe.
Chapter 33, Yippee-ki-yay. And you're like, okay, where's this going? And he writes, great line. Bruce Willis, great and Die Hard, forgettable and Hudson Hawk. And then that's it. I think you just cowboy, yippee-ki-yay. It's never...
He never has
called this chapter anything. I mean, this kind of caught me off guard. He says, he goes, yeah, Bill Watts was in WCW. I remember being in 1992 going to a Halloween Havoc and seeing Cowboy walking amongst the people.
Wow.
And I was like, Vince Russo? He acts so much like he doesn't know any wrestling outside of WWF. He was there in 92? Must have been an event or something, right?
He is
in his nearby?
Always been known as being a huge flare mark.
Yeah, what's the card there? Where was it? Was it like near the Below the Throw video? Did he do a promotional thing?
It was Philly.
Oh, wow. Maybe he did.
Yeah. Philly's not that far.
Nice to drive.
That's spin the wheel, make the deal.
Oh boy,
Sting and Roberts than the coal miner's glove.
I mean, Cowboy's kind of a badass for doing that, like on the wheel. You know, like not gimmicking it, just
No, he did gimmick the wheel. He thought a coal miner's glove would be over.
Oh, did he? What?
That's the real insanity of it. People like assume, well, he must not have gimmicked it. No, you can watch it spin. It's fucking gimmicked. He just thought that'd be a cool match.
Well, didn't they just do? Vince Russo just did that in JCW.
They did draw for him in '85. It was fucking Duggan DiBiase, coal miner's glove on a pole, tuxedo, and a cage match, right? That's the famous one.
Yeah.
Not exactly the blow off to Sting's, Jake Roberts. Not the seriousness. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not good.
So he says, I get this bad rep with old timers. I love spending time with old timers and picking their brain. He loved George the Animal Steel. He calls him, Jim Myers. He must have a thing with Myers because this is also spelled Myers. He must just not know how to spell Myers.
Yeah, that's weird.
Bob Backlund. Loves Bob Backlund.
Vince and Bob smoking crack.
His promos were the best I've seen to this day. It was one of his most enjoyable creative experiences in his 10-plus years in the wrestling business came when he took Bob Backlund to spring break. He loved it. He describes all the bits. It was by far one of the best things I ever did. I wrote, think about this. His memories of like great things he's done. It's not about like making somebody, creating star or anything like that. His most memorable is like I put
when I went to go look at teenagers in bikinis with Bob Backlund.
Yeah, Bob Backlund had white suntan lotion on his nose and had his trousers pulled up.
You missed Will's play, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't want to tell you because he knew you wouldn't come.
Tony Khan says now the greatest thing he's ever done is Sting's retirement and that whole run of Sting and the match and everything like that at Greensboro. Vince Russo says it's Bob Backlund at spring break. He rode with Dirty Dutch Mantel. He could sit and listen to Arn Anderson talk forever. And Arn Anderson, he should write a new edition of the Bible or something. And then it's like saying Beetlejuice. Say Vince is here. Did someone say Bible? Why did I say that? What's going on here? Is God always with me? I just wasn't submitting to him. He writes some kind of weird thing about God sitting on a beach on like a beach chair or something like that. And he's waiting for Vince to be ready. So he just wants to carry on what the old wrestlers started. Okay, he wants to carry on what their knowledge. Just the business needs to evolve. So Bill Watts says, I want to bring you in on the booking team. Okay. He brings up that, and say Vince comes back to go, hey, Cowboy's a born-again Christian now, and I'm good friends with his son, Eric.
That takes him out of the running for who he was slamming. That might be Sean.
Yeah. Chapter 34, Cowboy Scalp. Do you want to do it?
No.
Oh, come on.
Stop there.
No,
But
I need sleep.
Okay.
can we watch 4 quick Goldust vignettes? They're just 1 minute apiece. They're promos.
Sure.
I just want to hear this creative genius.
Yeah.
There's one of them where he tells Vince, is that a microphone in your pants?
They're all just pre-tapes. No
Okay.
in-rings.
Vince has a good face when he says that.
That's good.
That's the old swallow.
Straight man Vince. Okay.
Which I guess means he had a hard on. He's embarrassed that he got called out.
Do you miss me, sweetheart? Romeo is bleeding, 1994. Razor Ramon.
He's reading.
That guy. Oh, I like that, my boy. You know.
You're
I'm watching
right.
your every move.
What?
It's Jim
Barnett.
Barnett.
Yeah.
That's what Vince's notes was. Vince's note was like, say my boy.
watching your every move. You understand that there's a special bond between you and I, a bond that is unbreakable, unimaginable, and reeking the smell of taboo. You claim that you ooze machismo. Well, Chico, let's use it together.
Ooh.
Oh, you remember the name.
Your old jest.
Dust.
Oh.
I always loved that bite from
Yeah, it
Gold
was good
Dust.
stuff.
And then he added the
And then he gets Tourette's like 8 years later.
yeah. Man, they really did. They butchered the bangs on that wig.
Yeah.
I
Ah,
know. Shawn Michaels.
Gold Dust. Where
That's
are
quite
you?
the thigh on old Dustin.
No doubt your den of iniquity as we take you back to just
den of
last
iniquity.
week.
That's
Owen
so
Hart from
good.
the top. Yes, that cast crashing down to the head of Ahmed Johnson, rendering him totally unconscious. Ahmed on his back to receive
I have a
medical
magazine
attention
about
when
this.
his progress is stopped by this. Ahmed
Oh, he's trying to
drowned.
save
His
him.
heart had
I cannot
stopped.
believe
Yet
Tony
Goldust
Norris let
performed
this
mouth-to-mouth
happen. That's crazy.
resuscitation, and Ahmed goes absolutely berserk.
I just specifically, I feel maybe I'm wrong, and Tony Norris was completely. From what I understand, I just.
Oh, there's Al Snow.
I love how his reaction is just a start.
Black. I may even be ugly, but dear God, I'm here. I'm here.
What?
The color purple.
What?
1985.
All right, I understand you claim that you
Vince
saved
Russo,
Ahmed
you can't do
Johnson's
that.
life.
Have you ever heard of mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? I gave Ahmed Johnson the breath of life. I did what any other caring individual would have done. The man was in trouble, and I simply ran to his aid. What did you want me to do? Allow him to expire? No, I didn't have
Sound
any
logic.
my heart of gold to do that. I only did what came natural.
All right, come on. Ahmed Johnson may have
Breast
indeed
implants.
been incapacitated, but he did not require mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
It gives me a great satisfaction, much like the same satisfaction in which chocolate gives one. The taste in the mouth
He's got a
is
chocolate bar.
exhilarating.
Oh my god.
You think it was like a Snickers or something? They're like, we can't do this. It has to be a.
And now I'm at Johnson. I share that very taste.
Well, congratulations, Goldust. I hear the Red Cross is going to present you with a medal for your efforts. What? In their opinion, you acted in the same manner in which a trained, registered nurse would have acted.
Well, thank you, Your Royal Highness. You see, some of the best nurses are male nurses. I have learned some of my best techniques.
All right, come on. What about the matchup against Ahmed Johnson at the King of the Ring?
That's King of the Ring. That's King of the Ring. It will be me and the Mighty Man Jingo.
Oh,
One-on-one.
Vince Russo did
I
write
will be
this.
holding that golden Wonka ticket. Like fine Godiva. I'm at Johnson.
Wonka.
Will this.
He referenced
Mhm.
Wonka in the
in
book.
my hands. And not in my mouth. And in the end, he will never, ever forget the name of
Love to take.
Yes.
So in kayfabe, Goldust is a wrestler. He's looking to go to the pay window. He's looking to make money. He's only left with the device of antagonizing the roster to get higher programs, get involved with him by coming
Weren't
on
you
to
guys
them.
just talking about using that as an athletic advantage?
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess so.
Dead. 1968.
I'm glad he found
that-
a wrestling promotion
Kill the brain.
to do this.
And you kill the ghoul. Night of the Living Dead. 1968. Outside of my magical, mystical land.
The top hat that didn't last.
Evil, dark ghouls that walk astray in the darkness. Knights of the Nights. Blanketed in purple and black. Their spirits hypnotically walk the earth. They follow the footsteps of their leader, the one Grim Reaper.
This is probably about when my dad would walk in on me watching it.
Oh, absolutely, every time.
Anyway. Nah, it's good. I'm telling you, this is good.
Look at it. Gold only sheds light.
I'll be in my room reading Raw magazine.
Evil cloud that now hovers over the World Wrestling Federation.
This one's boring. The gay ones are better.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Last one.
Tiny little things that when you add them up, it just meant that we were supposed to.
Is this like a Matthew Perry situation where I can tell when he has a drug problem when he doesn't? Based on his weight or on his face?
I think Meltzer used to allude to that.
Supposed to be together. And I knew it. I knew the very first time I touched her. It was like home. Only to no home I'd ever known. I was just taking her hand to help her out of a car, and I knew it. It was like magic. Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. Razor Ramon.
I kind of.
It's better when he's playing off Vince, because like Vince is a straight man, like is fucking like.
But come on, Russo, quoting "Sleepless in Seattle." That's not like
you know, you might have gotten up for that. He said that he had to go and buy a couple books on movie quotations. That's what he was getting it from. I was like, the movie buff. So there you go.
Naughty.
Mm.
At the Royal Rumble on January 21st. Magic between us. It will be. Don't fight it, Chico. Accept it. Revel in it. Let's ooze as one. Oh, you'll never forget the name.
I want to
bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm over the, what is his thing where he's like, walk tall, keep on walking, or keep on stepping. Bring it back.
All right.
Good night.
Bye. It's Wilson again. That was fun. I bet it was the best episode ever. You know what you can do to help the workers out? Rate, review, all that good stuff on whatever app you're listening to. Tell us how much you love us. If you want to contact us, it's theworkersclubshow@gmail.com. We got a YouTube, The Workers Club Podcast, a Blue Sky, theworkersclub.org, and we have a Discord where the invite link is left in various places. I'm sure you can find it. That's it. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Bye.
Smile and love each other.